Hello there, my name is Patrick and you have just entered the Gameverse. And if you're here, that means you probably like video games, right? And if you like video games, you've probably heard of MOBAs. Specifically, either League of Legends, Dota, or Smite. These are the three big ones when it comes to the MOBA genre, with League really leading the way. With popularity comes other games joining the genre who want to capitalize on that same fame. And since Smite, almost every other MOBA has failed. A big question that arises with a new MOBA is what makes this one different from the other games in this genre. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today, in reference to a game I've been having a lot of fun with, Paragon. These are the top 5 ways Paragon is different than other MOBAs. Number 5. The card system. Like many MOBAs, Paragon has a way to build and customize your character via an in-match store, where you spend a currency you earn throughout the match, in this case, CP or card points. The big difference in Paragon is instead of buying items from a store, you instead are buying cards from a deck that you've chosen to use this game. You build the deck before ever jumping into the game, so it adds a strategy element before ever stepping into the arena. There are Prime Helix, equipment, and upgrade cards. The Prime Helix card are basically just an overall buff whatever you're trying to build for, either tankiness or damage. Equipment cards can be items like health and mana potions, or cards that you use to increase your stats. These type of equipment cards have 3 slots in them, which is where the upgrade cards come in. They can be slotted into an equipment card that has the same stat. So if you have an equipment card that raises your max health, you can increase your health even further by slotting a health upgrade into it. You have enough slots in a deck to be able to build a deck specializing in a specific role, and also have up to 3 extra equipment cards with upgrades to go into them for unforeseen occurrences. For instance, let's say you're building a carry, or in other words, a glass cannon. You know, high damage, low health, and low survivability. With your extra slots for equipment, you could add some cards to buff your health or defense, so that if you get into a team with no tank, or you're being picked off in engagements, you have equipment cards to fall back to try and adapt to the game you're in. Possibly my favorite part of the card system, and many others' least favorite part, is the fact you open packs to get more cards. I love card games. I love opening packs, and I love seeing what I get. I'm not a competitive player when it comes to Paragon. I like to play a few games a day to relax and have some fun and hopefully make some sick plays. So with those things in mind, I think it's quite easy to see why I personally enjoy this system, and I completely understand those who don't. To be perfectly clear though, this is not pay to win. You cannot, I repeat, cannot buy card packs or individual cards of any kind with IRL money. The only way to buy them is by playing and earning enough to pick a pack up. Number 4. Now, I am not one of those people who need graphics to enjoy a game. But man, the graphics in Paragon is incredible. They look so good. Dem graphics though. But seriously, aside from the untextured jungle camps in the current build of the alpha, this game looks amazing. From the character models to the map, especially the jungle, I really don't know what else to say about this other than it blows any MOBA I've ever seen right out of the water. Number 3. Verticality. MOBAs are generally a top-down perspective. You control your character as you look on from above. Smite, of course, changes this with its third-person perspective, putting you in the arena. And while Smite had already done this, Paragon took the next step in adding verticality to the MOBA genre. Paragon's map is not just a third-person perspective of the regular MOBA layout. Yes, it has 3 lanes, yes, it has a jungle, but there's ups and downs. Jump down from above on an unsuspecting enemy, or use Gideon's teleport ability to jump up from the jungle, either to escape or to set up the perfect gank. Teamfight approaching? Use the high ground to your benefit, easily hitting autos and abilities, raining death down from above. This becomes even more important when you consider the next point. Number 2. Aiming. Yes, all MOBAs have abilities you need to aim, skill shots if you will. But Paragon tends to feel almost like a third-person shooter in the fact that everything you do needs to be aimed. This becomes most obvious and game-changing when it comes to auto attacks. Hiding in your minions has always been a method for avoiding damage in MOBAs, but in Paragon, even that can save you if your opponent has good aim. Dodging, jumping, and doing the tried and true zigzag will help you avoid damage and could even save your life from the enemy in a way that it just isn't true for other MOBAs, aside from their skill shot abilities. This and verticality, I believe, are the biggest draws of Paragon when it comes to gameplay. This is its bread and butter, so to speak. This is what will keep you playing and coming back day after day. It makes those sick plays look sicker, and every auto, every ability you land feels like an accomplishment. Because of these, Paragon has what feels to me the easiest barrier to entry when it comes to skill and understanding the combat, but also the potential for one of the highest skill caps. Even though these gameplay elements are so critical, and the main reason why I have fallen in love with this game, there's something else that sets this apart from the rest of the MOBAs and opens us up to a completely new group of gamers. Number 1. PS4 and its PC cross-platform play. Yes, finally, console players on the PS4 can experience the popular MOBA genre. This is mainly due to the third-person perspective, which finally gives you a way to play with a controller. With the additions of an almost third-person shooter feeling gameplay, Paragon feels almost like it had console players in mind. And while yes, Smite is now on PS4, Paragon was here first. And not only did Paragon do it first, Paragon has PC cross-platform play. And while this is not exactly new for PlayStation users, it's being done to an extent far outreaching anything I have personally seen. When you think of cross-platform play from PS4, the first thing that comes to my mind is Rocket League. But in Rocket League, you can just happen to play with PC players. You can't group up with your friends and play together, which is the whole reason I even care about it in the first place. In fact, Psyonix, Rocket League's developers, have said it's not possible, or at least that they can't do it. Well, guess what? Paragon does it. Yes, not only can you happen to play against or with PC players, you can party up with them, even add them to your Paragon friend list. It's everything I've ever wanted in cross-platform play, and hopefully we get more of this. Just talking about these 5 things have me excited to finish up so I can go play a couple more rounds before bed. I really want to do more Paragon content. I've been tossing around a lot of ideas in my head. If you play Paragon or are interested in the game, what kind of content would you be interested in watching? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I answer every comment and practically get giddy with excitement when I receive one. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like or subscribe, or maybe you hated it, then leave a dislike. Maybe even comment why you didn't like the video. I'd love the feedback. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon. Goodbye. And design of both the characters and the levels, and the fact that there's even a voice-acted storyline behind your little robot's adventure is really nice. But this game is hard, like really hard. I started my journey playing the game on the hardest difficulty. It took me hundreds of deaths to even make it past the first area stages and boss. After that I had to restart from the beginning to go in an easier difficulty so as to keep my sanity, but it was pretty annoying having to play through the entire first area again. The bosses at the end of each area definitely gives you an incentive to continue playing and helps to keep the gameplay interesting. Each area brings its own unique mechanics and enemies to dodge, but after you've played a number of stages in the area, it starts to feel like a real grind to get